So I guess I'm now live. There I am. Just checking it out, man. The latency, no latency, sorry. The seems to be on low latency automatically, but you could probably change that because I'm just coming up to 3, 2, 1 live on YouTube. So I guess I'm now live. Yep, the audio's working, so I can mute myself. That's just wanted to check on that. Okay, so that's 720p automatic, probably only 30, 720p, 30 frames per second. Let's go back here and we can pop up a caption using the new glass look and feel, which is quite nice. So you see it's semi-transparent with a bit of blur to it. That's a nice feature. I like that. And that shows up with chat as well. So if I move my hand behind, you can see that you can still see all that, but it's blurred and very pretty. Interestingly, though, I do have it set to auto shift camera and shares, but that doesn't seem to work. And I'm just looking at the live feed, and that ain't working there either. So plus it'd be good to be able to control the darkness or the shade. I would actually go with a white text, even though that's called the light version of glass. Right, okay, hide that. Let's go. I'm gonna just kick in with Fast and Furious. No, not because I especially like this game, but because it was a white text, Fast and Furious, as it says in the name. Now, I don't think I've got a mixer. That's interesting. Video sending 73K, 440K. I'm having a look. It's just boosted. Video 1.65 megs. It's showing me what it's doing here. 1.9 megs, and that's actually pretty clever. It's a dynamic resolution. I can mute the game, but I don't. Oh, here we go. It's a volume slider. Damn, this is good. So I can turn that right down. Let's have a listen on here. What it's doing here. 1.9 megs, and that's actually pretty clever. It's a dynamic resolution. Looks a bit. I'm just having a look on YouTube, and it's a bit patchy. Looks like it's skipping some frames. So I can turn that right down. Let's go back and have a look at the 30 frames per second, score equals 10. I mean, I don't know what that means. Looks a bit mute me. So it says receiving 19K, sending 28K. That's the audio. Sending 1.8 megs. That's what would I normally be pushing it out at? Kind of higher than that, I would hope. This is a static screen, so it's dropped down to 96K. It's a shame that you can't just get it to fix the frame, fix the bitrate, because if it's working dynamically, it's having to check each frame, which is going to slow it down. You kind of want to just say, no, just fix it at 2 megs and go for it. It's a game. I suggested something like that earlier or yesterday to Melon, actually, that there's like a game toggle, and you can just flick it over and say, okay, it's going to be a game, so give me your highest bitrate or your highest frames per second or whatever is required. Spy tournament.
Oh, heck yeah!
Oh, heck yeah. Single player. Mission 1. Let's just get out there. This is not about winning the game, it's about testing the graphics. Also, the other thing that I find is that oftentimes when you watch the video back,
won't beat me this time, T.
YouTube seems to do something and improves it. So whether live it's doing some
doesn't matter who wins
odd
because I got
dynamic
next.
stuff as well.
And you shouldn't dare Cisco to eat anything. You know he will.
Spy racers, listen up.
Oh, let's skip
I
all
see
this
your-
crud. Let's get on with it. Get on with it. But this little face in the circle
Welcome to Los Angeles.
is a nice
Our
alternative
fake billionaire host,
to having a
Mr.
transparent
Everywhere,
background.
is about to kick off the turn.
Oops, skip that again. Right, let's have a look. I'm just going to give it 5 minutes, and then I'm going to have a look and see how that looked. Los Gatos. And then we've got a mouse right up at the top, which we really don't want. Let's get out of the way. Skip. That's 3 skips. Go, go, Gomez! That's what I should have done yesterday. Put the controller down on my lap. Okay, let's see. Drift. Boost. I've forgotten what boost was.
Yeah, this
Oh,
is
yeah. Oh, oh. No, missed. Oh no, I've got him out the game. Forgotten. There is a button to change. Oh wow. Up to 5th place. There's a button to change the viewpoint. Whoa. Whoa. I can't for the life of me remember what it is. Now you've got to be careful here because there we go, that worked. Nice. Watch out for those exploders. It's that one off the runway down there, 5th place. Oh man, I was terrible at this yesterday. I'm so much better now that I'm doing it under my own steam, and because I've moved the controller right below me, 2nd place.
go.
So we can just bock that one off. There he goes. Oh yeah, much better. I think I went the right way. Yeah. But Pizza Rave is having a crack at it here. Whoa, boy. Yeah, it's actually quite good fun. The thing about outright games is they're just missing out a little bit on the quality with the sort of lack of textures. They've got a, oh look at that, drop right back. They've got a definite look and feel which is based on very simple graphics, which I'm guessing is because their engine is designed for speed, for getting games out the door. I don't know what their engine is, whether they're using an existing engine or whether they've developed their own, but that's the definite feel. And the problem with that is, and I understand why, because they're aiming this at the sort of Fortnite generation. But I would like to see that they must be doing well. They've got a ton of franchises and they seem to sell quite well. And they put them, I mean, they're fairly minimalist games. There's not a huge amount of effort in them. Don't mean to upset you there outright. So I'd like to see them have a side project that was a really meaty, maybe aimed at an older generation kind of game. Let's see, what's the booster? Oh, he's forgetting. Kind of got the feel of the game, but they took me out back there. What's the booster? What's the booster? Watch out. Oh wow, there's a few of them taken out there.
Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah. I mean, I absolutely get the niche. And it's clever. And they've clearly got really good negotiating contracts team going into all of these places and saying, yeah, look what we've done. We've got all these franchises out there. We can, how much to, and let's be frank, the games are only loosely based on the brands that they that they franchise. So it's not like, say, a Star Wars game that is absolutely part of the canon, and there's a lot of work goes into making sure the story fits in. These are just basically, let's take the characters of it. In this case, it's just, let's just take the name of the film. And it has absolutely no bearing whatsoever on the films. That said, they're definitely not my kind of film, so I haven't watched them anyway. But there we go.
I'll win the next one.
Right. I am going to... That's the end of the game as far as our test is concerned. So we'll exit game just to get rid of the noise. What else have we got here? I know there's some other new stuff, but I mean, I just love the fact that it's entirely down to you where you want your camera to go, how big you want it to be. So, bring yourself here. There are scenes as well. So you can go between scenes and you can do cuts or fades or slides, I think. But those are only open to the premium account. Price-wise, I would say, personally, I'd like to see them drop it there. It's $20 a month for the content streamer, us, which is about £18 a month UK right now. I'd like to see that at 15. I think at 15 it's a no-brainer. At 20, you kind of, and they've got some great features, but they're not a big brand. They're, I believe, well, they're Eastern European. I think they're Ukrainian. I know that there's a connection with the Restream guys, although I don't think there is anymore. And therefore, I think I just feel like they could drop that price, particularly when they're building. Essentially, they're adding new features all the time. Also, post to all destinations. I can push that out. So type a message. Just spotted this. Hi, this is a test chat message to everyone watching. I'm actually going out live via private, so and only to YouTube. So I'm just interested to see if it works. Don't think it will allow you to. Okay, let's have a look and see if it shows up in the chat. Don't forget there is a blur of time delay. Here it is. So Rox sent in a comment. Hi, this is a test chat message to everyone watching. So at the moment, by default, there's a couple of things that I feel are missing. You can't, from what I have found anyway, choose whether to be private, unlisted, or public when you set up. You might be able to when you schedule it, but if you go live from the get-go, you can't. But what it will do is set up a listing. So you can go to YouTube Studio and change that fairly rapidly before anybody really notices. But that's a pain. The other thing is that it doesn't appear to give you the option to change the latency. How there's in YouTube Studio, there's normal, there's low, and there's ultra low. Now, low and ultra low are stiffed by the resolution. So the higher the resolution, the less you can't do those. But this is at the free end. This is 720p. So I should be able to push this out at ultra low, which is like a 3 or 4 second delay. We're getting a good 10 to 15 second delay, which means they're using the normal. And that might well be because it's what works best with their processing. I don't know. But I'd like to see an option to change that within the settings. I'd also liked to have been able to create at least one other scene in the free version so that I could test that feature out. It doesn't hurt to at least give a basic feel. So let's have a quick look at these other options here. Let's go to change our background. There we go. As you can see with this one, I'm out of my bubble. And we've got the side screen there. There is a ton of overlays. And in fact, what I'll do is hide that. And let's get rid of that. We'll ditch that one. Remove that share. We'll pull in a new share. We'll share this screen. You're going to see that hideous echo effect, unfortunately. But I'll turn off the audio. Right, so you're going to see me a million times. But the key thing is I can now show you with my little mouse, and I'll change the different options here. But you can now see there's a ton of overlay options down the side here. I'm looking at it away from the camera. Apologies for that. That's where the camera is. So we have a couple of options. This one is me at full screen, and then obviously this one's me to the side. However, if I go back to me at the side, you're not limited. Don't forget, you can play with the size. So if I want to, no great advantage. I could, in this case, there isn't, but there could well be if I was sat over here somewhere like this. It's, you know, you're getting to see more of this. And of course, at any time, I can go full screen like that. And then you're seeing all of that stuff down there. If I increase the screen, it's even better for you. And now you can see there's the camera down there. I'm actually down here. I'm not sure if you can hear me right now. I think you probably can. I'm not grayed out. It's another thing I like about this. People or screens that aren't in the stream, there's no sound or video, are grayed out. So that's a really good visual reminder. So let's pull that back from focus, and we'll go to one of these guys. Here we go. You can see I'm quite small, but I can move myself around and increase my size. It doesn't at the moment allow you, as far as I found, to save custom layouts. So, you know, yes, I prefer my camera to be that big and down in the bottom left-hand corner. But if I switch back to another layout, the customs disappeared and I can't add my own back in there. So for me, I would like to have that option. And you can bring yourself to the center. It's very nice. Got a little animated background there. But of course, we've now lost the background. So I need to bring that back in. And then bring us back in as well. Nice little fade in animation there. Of course, if I put myself over there, I'm now looking into the thing, which is my recommendation is always this case. And you can move yourself around. So, you know, if you're wanting to highlight anything. So, for example, down here, some nice features, sound effects. Now you can upload or you can pick more, but they all work really well. They work better than in Melon. So let's give you an example. Drum roll. Just right. But you should have heard that. Gong, laugh, boom. And you can turn up the volume and stop it straight away. Clock ticking. That's pretty cool. Painful. So that's cool. And under there, music. With the option to turn it down a bit. It's pretty cool. Hip hop. Actually shows you the length as well. So this deep house energy is only 50 seconds. And you can loop it. Oh, that's nice. So you could just take the volume down to maybe 5, maybe a bit more, about 10, and then just leave it looping, which is that's nice, isn't it? So, you know, in some areas there's a little bit of polish missing, but I love what these guys are trying to achieve. I wish they would do a lifetime plan as well, like Melon did. That would be awesome. Because I really would like to, yeah, you see, it won't allow you to touch the basic things while you're in the free version. Do, 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 do. Let's go over there. There we go. You've got videos. I mean, the basic ones, basic overlays, obviously logo, you've got all that stuff going on. You've got your live chat showing down here, which is pretty cool. And another really nice feature of live chat is that you can star them. And the benefit of that is that if you're then referring to something in the video and you haven't got time to highlight that one, you can click up the top to starred, and it will show the video, the chat that you starred 10 minutes ago. So you can then bring it back. I think that's a really nice feature. And you've also got shown. So all of those that you've shown, obviously, are there. So if you need to refer back to it at a later point, and I think that's cute. I really do like that. There's your message bit down there that you can add your own messages. What else we got? We got captions. So, another thing which I love this in Restream. Melon doesn't have this. I have asked for it, hasn't happened, but you can put a whole bunch of messages into folders. The advantage for that is that if you, like me, create multiple shows across multiple channels, you can create a bunch of captions, banners, pertinent to a folder. So, or a show. So let's say we create one here for Stadia Rock Show. Let's get that just dropping out my ear hole. Sorry. Stadia. Stadia. Oops, Stadio. Oh, come on, Rack. Stadia. That's it. Right, so we now have an empty folder. I'm getting caught up in my headphones. That's better. So let's now go into Stadia Rock Show. It's completely empty, but we can put welcome. Let's put Stadia News, for example, and add that one. Now it doesn't automatically add it. You're creating these. Let's put, what else have we got? Raise praise. We'll add that one. Judge John, etc. And then, of course, as you all you have to do then is come back to your folder. You know where your comments are, your captions, as they call them, banners. Sorry, and then you can pull them up. Now, as I've said, the other thing is there's a bit of a limit. It's limited in how you can modify the look and feel of these. And I haven't found a way to move comments around. I can obviously move this stuff around, but clicking on that gives me nothing. So let's put it back again. If you use the light one, which is this one, there we go, it's always going to be as dark as the dark background with just a hint of light. But if we go up to text style, we can choose dark glass, and that is a white text over a dark background. So here you can also show your name on the camera with a title underneath. You could put the CEO of something, or you can put, as I've done here, the Twitter, and you'll see that it uses that same glass effect. Let's just zoom me out there. Same glass effect, only this time we've gone for the dark version. Pull that down in size, pull that down there. I think the music's getting a bit annoying, isn't it? Should we get rid of the music? Trying to remember where it was. Was it media? Yeah. Pack of Blues. Ooh, no. Music off, always good. Everything's got a shortcut. Audio A, sound effects E. I don't know what use that would be because, oh, there you go. It just brings it to the top of that. Nice. To that column. I don't know if you were in somewhere else, would it still work? Yes. Awesome. That's really important. Now, it always means having to learn a bunch of sound, a bunch of screen shortcuts. But if you're going to use the application on a regular basis, then what the heck? It's all right, isn't it? You can have, even on the free account, I think, I may be wrong on this, you can have 10 guests. The free one, I think, lets you stream for 4 hours, I believe, which obviously isn't for everybody. But let's have a look. If I go to create, it says show me premium plans. Let me just tell you this for sure. So actually the $16 a month if you're paying monthly, or $20 a month if you're paying, sorry, if you're paying annually, it's $16 a month, streamer. So you've got free at 0. You've got streamer at 16 annually, 20 monthly. You've got creator at 24 monthly, or 30 annually, monthly. Annually 24, monthly 30, and then you've got business at 48 annually and 60 monthly. But actually, that's quite annoying. The $20 a month one gives you 4 hours live streaming a month. Well, what's 4 hours? That's an hour a week. Unless it's, oh, maybe it's 4 continuous hours, streaming up to 4 hours. I'm willing to bet that's what it is. I'm going to check that out though, but you can stream up to 5 destinations. Well, as far as I've seen, it's largely YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and a couple of weird ones. RTMP's in there though. So, you know, it's going to be maybe 2 or 3. I think it's more likely to be a 4-hour in length stream rather than only being able to stream for up to 4 hours. Similarly with the creator. Now, what I've noticed is that the streamer and the creator packages, I know you're not seeing this, sorry, I don't think you are, you might be able to. The streamer and the, oh, you are, that's good news. Just quickly flick to YouTube. Yeah, the streamer and the creator packages basically are identical. There's nothing for live streaming. There's nothing that's different here. As you can see, 5 channels, 10 guests, 4 hours in length, 1080p. 2 cameras. So that's a recent feature to Melon that allows you to have multiple cameras. Melon lets you have up to 12 cameras, but to be fair, I can't think of many scenarios where you're going to need more than 2. 3 screen shares. You can do multiple screen shares with Melon as well, but they don't promote the fact. And actually, if you have too many, the whole thing gets quite unwieldy, which is why I think they don't really push that. Screen or video shares per guest. Each guest in Wave can use 2 cameras, 1 each, and up to 3 screen shares. That's pretty clever. Scenes which you've talked about, they're the ones you fade. So you, for example, can have an intro with, you know, the welcome stuff and you'd subscribe and like and all that malarkey, then into the show and then the end. Or in the case of something like Stadia Rock Show, we could have our different sections, each as a scene, each one with a different overlay and so on. So even different camera positions. So I really like that. That's a lovely feature. But video recording with pause and resume up to 4 hours. Record your presentation, screencasts, and shoot guest interviews in a browser. Okay, and then basic permissions. In other words, you can give presenter and a supporter access permission, presenter and support access to your guest. Melon's just introduced this recently. That means that if you've got someone that can help you by bringing up, you know, comments and chat messages and that kind of thing, you can hand that over to them. So the difference between the two really comes down to these other options that they give you. So each of the plans has 3 options, 3 features. Okay, so we've just covered live streaming, and to be fair, the only difference between the creator, the streamer, and the business plan is that you get more advanced options and more guests and more hours for business. But I doubt very many people have that, and don't really see the point. Maybe it's a church thing, I don't know. But the other 2 features that you get, which is where Wave really goes out there, and I love where they're going with this. You get a video editor. You can edit video live, create thumbnails, use if you go for creator and business, You have access to 200 million stock library assets, which is absolutely ridiculous. Streamer and free gets you access to 2 million assets and templates. So you can create videos and GIFs up to 15 seconds long, not a huge amount, but for creating thumbnails and GIFs and that kind of thing. With the creator and the business, that goes up to 15 minutes and 60 minutes and 60 frames per second. And they're really more specific. But don't forget, the streaming stuff never changes for those. So you're only getting creator for those additional video options, including text to speech, which is pretty cool. And video hosting. So most of us are going to be using Twitch and YouTube, but as an alternative to someone like Vimeo, for example, they'll host it, give you 150 gigs a month of traffic, 10 gig on the free one, 500 gig on the business. And again, that's more for the businesses that maybe don't want all the advertising guff around the videos and need to embed them on their websites and all that kind of stuff, embed them in presentations. So it's very much a specific use case. We really are only interested in this live streaming stuff, and that means, to be quite frank, the annual or monthly version of Streamer is all you need if the streaming bit's all you're really interested in. So that's pretty cool. So coming back to our presentation, covered off most things. I think we've got captions going on. And Judge John is in there, raise praise. It's a little bit better with the background there. Of course, it's going to largely depend as well. We, as you know, we tend to do, don't forget, you can shrink this down as much as you want. You don't have to have, they're showing, oh yeah, that's right. So you can do this with this kind of a layout, which is more your standard Restream, StreamYard. But this does allow you to go all the way around the shared screen, which the others don't. They tend to limit that. And of course, there's this one, which, you're not going to see detail when you're working with this one, but it depends what you're trying to present, of course. And then there's the full screen itself. But I love the fact that these have all got 3, 4, 5 options popping out to the side. Some of them only really relevant when you've got multiple cameras. And there's even an oblique option, which I'm sure looks pretty cool when you've got a couple of you together. In fact, we can add a camera. So let's just add a random camera. Oh, no, you can't. Not without the premium plan. So let's not add a random camera. But we will go back down to my little favorite, which is the circle. There we go. There is a drop shadow as well. You just can't see it because the background's dark. If I change this to the lights mode, please. Oh, there we go. Now you can see there's a little bit of a halo shadow around moi. And also those are a bit easier to read as well. And with Stadia Rock Show, you've got that kind of red, you've got the zoomed in Stadia logo. So it would all work quite nicely. And you can invite guests. Just copy this, and there's a little bit of a guide. You can have up to 6 for free, which is more than most people need. Then it goes 10, 10, 12. As you can see, there's a custom button here, which essentially is because I moved my camera down and increased its size. So it's essentially saying custom. But as I mentioned earlier, if I then shift across to some preset, that disappears. And I really want to be able to save that and come back to it. Maybe that's a premium option. I honestly don't know. I doubt it, because I think they would make it really obvious if that was the case. But either way, it's there. Comments. Yeah, so this, as you can see here, it says cameras and shares shift up when live chat comments are shown, or you can put all this stuff together, have it all shrink up and always have a gap for comments, or you can leave it as this, which is overlap. Now I've tried changing these. So everything should shift up, but it ain't working. So I don't know if that's a bug or a premium thing or what, but it's definitely the case. Settings, very familiar if you've ever used StreamYard. It's very StreamYard looking. You change your avatar, your name, obviously choose which camera you want to use, your audio source, options to authenticate, so nobody can just log in. They've got to say, hello, let me in. Guests can see comments. You can turn that off if you want to. Play a sound when guests enter. With Restream, it tells you John has entered the room or something. But to be fair, a little sound's all you need. Allow guests more than one camera. Keep streaming when no guests are present. Show name and picture in live chat. Now I changed those in a previous one, so I'm guessing that again it flicks back to default. No band list. I mean, unless you put your link out there for anybody to join. And then there's your major shortcuts, which is pretty cool. Also, what I quite like is if I turn off the camera. Oh look, now you'll see. It's amazing. That the audio continues to show this really nice effect. I think it's one of the nicest audio effects. You can't miss that somebody is talking there, even though its camera is switched off. So let's go to this one, makes it a little bit more obvious. I think that's actually pretty cool. So with a nice little picture in the center there, that would work quite nicely, I think. Okay. Anything else to show you? I don't think so. As I said, the live chat doesn't seem to affect the position of cameras, but it may well do if there's multiple cameras. And it won't let me add a camera because it needs to be premium. But each of these replaces the other one. And as we've seen, you can see your starred ones, which is pretty cool. Media is all of that stuff. Guests chat, so privately you can talk to each other. I'm guessing a little badge would appear over the top of the words guest chat. Otherwise, you're not going to know because there's no tab or anything. Text style, yeah, you've got a bunch of, you can change how these things look. But to be honest, again, I'd really like an option to override the fonts and things because some of them are, I mean, that's an okay banner. I quite like that. But I can't change this serif typeface, which is out of keeping with my brand. It may well be that there's an option to change that. And what I'm going to do, I think, anyway, is invest in a month with the premium streamer package. Yeah. And just see what is unlocked and if there's a difference or not. But, I mean, that one, nice banner, not the font I would want. That's okay, but I'm not so sure about the round edges. That one, I don't like the font at all. That's pretty nice. That's quite nice. But again, font, guys. Weird. Weird. Glass is nice, but that's something they've lifted from Ecamm Live, which is a Mac-only streaming app like this, which would be amazing if it was web-based, but it's not. It lives on your Mac. And I think it's a cheek that they charge as much as they do for it, given that it's using your own bandwidth. See, where the cost is for most of these systems is paying for the bandwidth to take your stream and push it out. Whereas Ecamm doesn't have to pay for that. All they do is provide you with an application which you run on your Mac, and then it uses your bandwidth to push it out to YouTube. I just think, and they charge, it's not cheap. They charge, this kind of money plus. So, there you go. What can you say? But that's why I used to have a little subscription to them, but it didn't work brilliantly well on my old MacBook. And I thought they were taking the mickey with the prices. Again, it's an interesting one, but it's very situational. And the look of it is, I want to change the fonts. But there's no option, not at least in the free. So we'll go back to that one. I think that's just about it. There's nothing really under the account. You can look at your projects that you've created. That's more to do with video editing and that sort of thing. Your previous streams, your profile, your subscription account, all that kind of stuff. Obviously, there's a little help thing down here. It says no one's available. It's probably worth testing it though, because sometimes they may pop up. Obviously, at the top here, it's got your time that you've been live, 40 minutes, how many people have been watching. This has been private. I actually think I'm going to go public with it, though, because I turned it into a tutorial in the end and a review. Your brand, clicking on that takes you through to the live stream. Leave, which if you were a guest or not a guest, if one of your guests has the ability to run the show, you could still leave them. And in fact, that was a setting down here with room. So show name and picture. No. Keep streaming when no guests are present. So I'm guessing, I mean, that's with nothing there, but that's if you accidentally dived out, I guess. And then obviously end broadcast. This brand color is interesting. I think it's where you've got the edges to these themes, because I don't see them anywhere else. And they're themes, but they're not themes. There's got to be somewhere that you can edit those darn things. I need to investigate this. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that little sort of 40-minute look at Wave. I'll be keeping my eye on this one for a while because I like what they're doing. I like the way that they're trying new features and pushing the envelope. People like StreamYard have pretty much decided from the get-go they're going to do this one basic tool and they're going to roll out one new feature a year and charge an extortionate amount of money. Restream seem to have slowed down in terms of what they're pushing out. Now, they're a Ukrainian company, so although they're headquartered now in the US, I think most of their dev has been happening in the Ukraine. So I'm guessing that has had an impact on their timeline. Melon is US based, but most of these outfits outsource their development offshore. So, it could be, but they're rolling out at least one new feature or an update to a feature every month. But there's so much here that they could learn from. The difference between these guys and Melon is these guys don't have the profile. So, they're in a dangerous place. It only takes someone like Melon or Restream to go, right, guys, that feature, and that feature, and I want it out in 2 months max. For this to disappear, which is why I'm baffled by the pricing, because for me, this is not a million miles away from what I would pay out the box for Melon or for StreamYard or Restream. Got to go to the monthly one. They are cheaper. I think they've been keeping a little bit of an idea. If we go to, let's go to Melon, have a look at prices. See, Melon it does have a feel of a sort of a more grown-up interface, but they've still got a ways to go. Let's go to, I think it's refer and earn. Billing, is it billing? I've got Pro Lifetime Plan, which is the top one. Don't think, because you've got that one, it allows you to have a look at, okay, let's have a look at Melon app packages. This package pricing, there we go. Pricing. Why has it disappeared? I need to log out. Let me log out. There we go. Thank you for visiting. You're more than welcome. So we need to go to monthly. So we're $1. We're $1 less for the standard edition versus that's annual. Hang on a second. Whoa, get rid of that one. Yeah, that one. Annual is 12. Actually, Melon is considerably cheaper. Melon is cheaper than their annual price at Wave. This is marketing, and I appreciate there's costs, but if they want to take a slice, they've got to come in cheap and build up. And Melon are really aggressive with pricing. And they also did that thing that so many of us signed up for, which was the lifetime pro membership, their top package, which is normally monthly $49 a month. I wouldn't have done it annually. I did it lifetime because lifetime was literally 2 of those. Unbelievable. So, you know, that's where I feel these guys are letting themselves down. They've got to work on their pricing. They would argue, though, and this is fair, that, well, look, we're throwing this in and we're throwing this in. I would say, personally, could you ditch that and give me a price just for this, please? I don't want that other stuff. You can keep all of that. They would probably say it makes our pricing too complicated, and in any case, we're developing all of these things. We don't have, you know, just because you don't want it doesn't mean we're not developing it. And I get all that, but they've got to come up with some alternative to make. I don't want that. I don't give a stuff about that editing, and I don't give a stuff about the hosting. So I'd rather they knock $5 off, make it $10 a month or whatever, and then I'm in 100%. Anyway, I'm going to send this video to these guys, and then they can have my thoughts and see what they think. I appear to have frozen. That's because I fired up Melon, so apologies for that. That's because Melon interfered on the camera, so I stopped the video and bring it back. It may work. No, it doesn't matter. Sorry, you caught me there chomping on a lip. Anyway, listen, thank you for watching. And yeah, this is Wave. This is Wave.Video. And it's still a one to watch. I think it's improved since definitely the last video I did. They're definitely moving in the right direction, but they've still got some stuff they need to work on. And I would recommend, if you can get a deal and hunt around, there's got to be some deals somewhere. Should we just have a little Google and see? Let's see, what would we want? Deal for Wave.Video. Excuse me, hiccups. Very unprofessional. Do Wave video. How can I get a Wave video? It does Wave. Oh, excuse me. Lifetime deal. Okay, some dude who streamed 2 years ago was pushing a Wave deal. Here's what would be beneficial: create alternative to speedy, best for get access to Wave here. So where's this lifetime deal thing then? Click on that link. Aha! AppSumo 3-in-1 bundle. Lifetime deal. Stay in the know. Looks like it's dead. Ah, that's a poo. So there was a time 2 years ago, but at that point they didn't have the streaming. So at this point, so I'm going to put my email address in anyway. So if they come back with a deal, I'm in. I'm in like Flynn. Wow. How annoying is that? Well, let's hope it comes back. I actually did have a year's worth of this, that account back in the day. I won it. I won it along with a Restream account, and for a year, a pro Restream account for a year. But this I used. I created a video intro for Rock and Ray, and I used one of the audio musical assets they were pushing, and I got a copyright hit, and I could never get them to resolve it. So whoever was claiming the copyright, I could never get Wave to fix the issue. So it kind of cheesed me off a tad. But you know, I'm hoping that they would be different now. This was a couple of years back, to be fair to them. Right, I'm out of here. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it gave you some ideas. And go, if you do find another lifetime Wave deal, let me know, share in the comments, because that's if you could get that kind of a deal, I would say this is a no-brainer, and it's an investment. And I would absolutely be happy using this instead of Dmitry Skavish. So, or is he the? Yeah, he's the Wave.Video CEO. So I say they're all. It's weird, but they all seem to come from Eastern Europe, and largely Ukraine. But which is interesting. But there's loads of developers in India as well, so there's no real comment other than I've noted it. I'm going to end here before I get myself in hot water. Take care, everybody, and I will catch you on the flip side. Take care. Bye. Oh, look, I can choose to end my broadcast. Let's do that one. I don't know how long it lasts, but I'll kill it.